The movie starts in a place that feels like it's at the edge of the world. This is Inhabited, a land where the crops have failed, the people are starving, and the cold is constant. We meet Elodie, the daughter of the local lord. She isn't your typical royal, we see her chopping wood and working alongside her people. She is a protector, and her main concern is the survival of her younger sister, Floria. When a ship arrives from the ultra-wealthy kingdom of Aurea offering a marriage proposal, it's treated like a winning lottery ticket. The Queen of Aurea wants Elodie to marry Prince Henry. Elodie's father, Lord Bayford, sees this as the only way to save their people from extinction. Even though Elodie is hesitant to leave her home and marry a stranger, she agrees because she knows her family has no other choice. This section sets the tone. Elodie is doing this out of duty, not for a fairy tale. The contrast between Elodie's home and Aurea is massive. Aurea is filled with gold, sunshine, and lush greenery. But as they arrive, the vibe feels off. Queen Isabel, the ruler of Aurea, is cold and calculating. She treats the marriage like a business transaction. Elodie's stepmother, Lady Bayford, picks up on the tension and tries to warn the family that something isn't right, but the promise of gold and safety for their people keeps them moving forward. The wedding ceremony is a visual masterpiece but incredibly creepy. It takes place at the top of a mountain. Elodie and Prince Henry are required to wear ancient gold masks. During the ceremony, their palms are cut, and their hands are joined together so their blood can mingle. The narrator should emphasize how weird this is. This isn't about love, it's about a blood bond. Elodie thinks she's becoming a princess, but she's actually being prepared as a product for an ancient customer. Immediately after the ceremony, Henry carries Elodie toward a dark chasm in the mountain. He tells her it's part of an ancient tradition to honor the island's history. Then, without warning, he apologizes and throws her into the dark pit. This is the money shot of the movie. Elodie falls hundreds of feet, her wedding dress tearing as she hits jagged rocks and branches on the way down. She survives, but she's now in a literal hell. Elodie realizes that her royal blood from the ceremony was just a trick to make the dragon think she belongs to the Aurean lineage. She is a human sacrifice meant to pay an ancient debt. This segment focuses on Elodie's transition from victim to survivor. She finds a cave filled with strange, glowing blue slugs. She discovers that these slugs have magical healing properties when applied to her wounds. It shows her intelligence and her will to live. As she explores deeper, she finds a cave where previous damsels have left messages. There are hundreds of names carved into the stone. She finds a map and a collection of supplies left behind by girls who lasted longer than others. She realizes she is part of a cycle of murder that has lasted for generations. Then, we finally see the dragon. This isn't just a beast, it's a sentient, talking creature with a deep, vibrating voice. The dragon taunts her, explaining that it can smell her royal blood. Centuries ago, the first king of Aurea killed the dragon's 3 babies. In return, the dragon demanded 3 royal daughters from every generation. The royals have been kidnapping girls from other lands and marrying them into the family just long enough to trick the dragon. It's a cycle of revenge and cowardice. Elodie's father eventually enters the cave with a rescue party, but it's a slaughter. The dragon kills them all, and in his final moments, Elodie's father apologizes for selling her for gold. Elodie manages to escape the mountain, but her victory is short-lived. Queen Isabel, realizing Elodie survived, kidnaps her younger sister, Floria, and throws her into the pit. Elodie has to go back. She confronts the dragon, but this time, she uses the environment to her advantage. She tricks the dragon into a narrow passage where its own fire reflects back and burns it. But instead of the finishing blow, Elodie reveals the truth to the dragon. She shows the dragon that they have both been lied to. They aren't royals, and the real enemies are the people sitting in the palace above. Elodie and the dragon form an unlikely alliance. They return to the castle during another wedding feast. Elodie tells the innocent new bride to run, and then the dragon arrives. The entire royal line is wiped out in a storm of fire. The movie ends with Elodie, her sister, and her stepmother sailing back to their home, accompanied by the dragon. They aren't just going home, they're going back as the most powerful family in the world.